Hello there, and thanks for being a part of our morning and stay with us here on the show. We're back, and we'd like to say a big thank you to Franco Trading Enterprise, still phones, Papa Pafie, for making it possible for us to have a conversation this morning here on the show. You can send your messages to us. Our WhatsApp line is active. We're streaming live on Facebook. You can also drop your messages over there and let us know what you think about our major issue this morning. A big thank you to Franco Trading Enterprise, still phones, Papa Pafie, and of course, if you want television, if you want refrigerators, if you want CCTV cameras, if you're looking to getting yourself some phones as well, the place you need to go is Franco Trading Enterprise. And that's where you can get all the phones, Samsung, Nokia, iPhones, and we're giving you a 40% discount on any accessories that you buy from us. Franco Trading Enterprise is still phones, Papa Pafie. Now, speak to us. Numbers on your screens. You can call us and let us know what you think. And also, make sure you download the app. It's Franco Trading app on Google Play Store, and you can also let us know, what you want to buy. We're definitely going to be there to serve you. Now, those of you out there, you can check on our website. It's www.francotrading.com, and you're good to go. You get our branches, our numbers, and every other details that you need to make sure that you're also doing business with us, all right? So that's what it is. We guarantee you quality and, of course, customer service is top-notch, all right? Thank you very much. Franco Trading Enterprise says still phones, Papa Pafie. Now, this morning, we're looking at a very, very critical issue, the Ministry of Vetting and also national security. Now, how rigorous can this process always be? Yesterday, 3 of them went, which is the Finance Minister, we had the Attorney General and Minister for Justice, and then also we had the energy sector also going for the vetting, and we're going to be looking at how it went down. Are you excited about it? Do you feel some kind of way about it? You want to share your thoughts with us as well. And very soon I'll be reading some of your messages, but I'll also go to the front pages of the newspapers to find out what exactly have been reported this morning here on the show. But my guests are seated already, so let me introduce them to you, and then we'll go into the front pages of the newspapers. Then we'll get into the substantive issues. Honorable Samuel Aipe is here with us, the former MP for Ayensuano constituency, representing the NPP. He's a family here. Good morning. And
good morning, my brother. How are you? Many happy
very well,
returns.
thank you. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too.
A lot of work have been done.
Exactly.
And we're trying to restructure now. Come back.
Very important. Yes, indeed, we have to restructure our party and then bounce back this time stronger than it used to be. And I want to advise the party members to get involved. Every Tom, Big and Harry should be part of this restructuring exercise. So restructuring had been started, and as I said, all party members should get involved.
There was a communique that came out, a press release that came out, that the party is receiving information from individuals who feel
Yes, exactly. For all party members, even from the grassroots up to the top, anybody who thinks that has information or idea of what needs to be done and what happened. Actually, before we can get the party properly restructured, we must know why we lost the elections, not the loss itself, but heavily.
Yeah.
So there's a need for us to know what actually happened. Already, there's been an indication that comparing our results in 2020 to that of 2024, it seems like most people who are MPP affiliates or those who used to vote for MPP in 2024 did not go out to vote. And indeed, if you look at even the parliamentary seats that we lost, it's because the people did not go to the polling station to vote at all. If you don't go there, you may not even get opportunity to vote for your parliamentary candidate, and that is what cost us. So people are saying that it's apathy. But you cannot just sit in your armchair and say that, oh, it's apathy that cost us. We need to investigate. We need to find out. And it's easy to be done. We have a register for all the polling stations in this country. So you just go to, for instance, where I vote in Otoasi Primary School. We take the 2024 register that we used for the elections. And then you take that of 2022. You can just, because anytime people vote, we give it to our agents and they take, when you vote, you give their card to them then they take either before or after you have voted.
So you have a data,
we
collection
have
of
a
data.
so you can look at Autonomous Primary School, the catchment area where the polling station is. And then you can identify the MPP members who were supposed to come to vote and did not vote. Also, if everybody in that polling station who is MPP voted, then we have to find out why did we then lose the election. So it's an exercise that can easily be done. But when we sit in our cry and we start to bombard each other and blaming
And the
each
real
other
work
for
is
the
sitting
loss.
somewhere.
Yes, we end up destroying the party instead. I've heard the general secretary of the party on another network trying to, your sister station, it's also apologizing, and if you apologize, your apology will not bring us back to power. There's something that you should have done that you didn't do. At times, we must be bold enough to speak truth to power and take a lesson from us. Where the general secretary, the chairman of the party, the government is doing something that you think it will not bring success to your party. It's the party that gives birth to government. So if government is doing something, if the president is doing something that the party think it will not annul to the success of the party, the chairman of the party, the general secretary of the party, the national executive of the party should be able to speak to power and say that what you are doing will take us to opposition. If you fail to do that, and we've gone to opposition and come back as you are begging us to bring us the power, the harm, while begging, before begging, he was able to identify some of the issues that happened. For me, I agree with those issues that he raised, but where was he when those things were going on? You see, so we shouldn't sit in Accra and bombarding and blaming each other. We should go and find out that indeed the people didn't come out to vote, our people. And if it's true, they did not come out to vote. Because if you look at the difference between what the NDC presidential candidate, the president, Mahama had in 2020 as compared to 2024. It's about 120,000 vote difference. He had 6,000 something, and if you subtract, you have about 120,000. It means, and we lost this election as compared to 2020 election to 2024 election, about 1.6 million votes. So the question is, the president, did not gain our loss. So what happened? Where are the people? So let us take our time, go back to the polling stations, get our people there to do proper auditing so that we'll know what actually happened.
Okay, very well, thank you. And Honorable Timothy Tabwade Awantrim is also here with us this morning, former MP for Bolsa North and representing the NDC. Honorable, good morning, how are you doing? Congratulations again.
KMJ. And good morning.
Good morning, my brother. Congratulations.
He was the first to send me a congratulatory message, and I thank him. I cherished that very much. He must be told that that is how friends and brothers behave. When you are down, you congratulate the other one for being up, because these elections, they are transient, and with time will tell. But you see, let me take the opportunity to wish our viewers a happy new year and a prosperous future as we move into 2025. And also to greet my auntie in Techman, a retired nurse with the Holy Family Hospital, Auntie Christie, who has always been watching. I didn't watch her. He does so much analysis out of us.
What's the name?
Auntie Christie.
Auntie Christie, thank you. I've heard that you've been asking of me. I'm strong and weak. Though we have been weak, but we are still strong.
The one I wanted, you call me to congratulate. I say, yeah, that is.
That's good. That's good.
It's always enthused and enthusiastic about the interactive nature between Ayipe, myself, and the crew here, and your good self. I want to say thank you to everybody that contributed in one way or the other, through their text messages, through their advices, and so on that brought us this. But we are not taking it for granted. In as much as we won heavily, it's the same burden of responsibility that has been put in them.
Yeah.
So they'll be watching us. We don't have to goof. We must go according to our promises and do and show candor and respect to the people who gave us that. Anytime you are walking around in town, they realize you're an NDC fellow. People come to you and say they are looking at you. It means that sometimes I get frightened. We must work. There are no excuses. That explains why when the energy issue came up, your mama say has been elected to work, to fix the problems and not to complain. But my brother talked about the issues of their downfall and talked about the fact that their people did not come out to vote. I don't know where they are getting this Hundios thinking from. In any case, if they didn't come out to vote and they came out previously, what made them not to come out? In itself, rests the answer. If they've been voting for and this time they didn't come out, in itself, rests the answer. Why didn't they come out? Why did they feel that today?
That's the answer they are trying to find.
Yes. So
out.
in itself, it lies there. And it's not even true. And I don't know where they are getting the calculations that in 2024, 2020,
yeah.
Mama got this and the strike off, as if the numbers are stagnant. And they've been built in a concrete steel and they don't move. Where from that analysis? In any case, we don't need to regurgitate what has happened. But their falling was seen way beyond. But they would not accept it. The whole flag bearer, the one leading them, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, the vice president at the time, if a politician should mount a platform like this, KMJ, what do you tell the people? You are telling about your policies. He mounts the platform, the flag bearer, the leader, is talking about Nkoko Nkiti, making mockery of poultry farmers. Komna Daku, you know Komna Daku, the giant poultry farmer in this country, started with, have you heard the story? Started with Nkoko Nkiti. He told the story about how he started this thing with his stepdad and to go to some place, he had to break away. And when he had the chickens, he had to come to Accra, to ADB at the time, to solicit for support. When he came, even the gate man, he came at the time they had closed. The gate man asked him, what do you want? He said that, he came to see the manager. The gate man asked him, for what? That I want to take a loan. That for what? That he's going to do poultry. The gate man looked at him and said, do you understand? There's a story to everything. You don't take someone who is churning out his promises or his manifesto pledges on your platform and you are really regurgitating that. Instead of, Afrobarometer tells you the mood of the people in this country. Statistical Service said that last 2 years, 8.3 million people could not get a meal to eat a day. If you man the platform, you are talking to the 8.4 million people. How to yank them from that. Multidimensional poverty tells how people were poor in all facets of life. If you mount the platform, you'll be churning out policies that will yank them from their poverty status into a better state, because it meant that they were not in that status. The economic mismanagement and policy misapplication led the people into that state. So if you have the whole MPP and their communication team go on platform and they are rather mocking at an opposition leader and you are in government, what do you expect the people to do? Because you have not been successful in telling your own voters why they should vote for you. Because you rather took the NDC manifesto and you were campaigning for NDC. And you think you were mocking at NDC. A hungry man is expecting KMJ or my brother to tell him how to get food to eat. He gets to me and he's mocking at someone else who is promising to give me food.
Very well.
In Kumasi, where it is the belly of the elephant, my brother, Otumfuo was looking for money, just $10 million, to rehabilitate Kolebu that has been saving the people of Kumasi where they get their votes. Otumfuo, you were here commissioning interchanges that were started by John Mahama. While in the belly of the elephant, your interchanges were there.
All right, Honorable, let me get to the newspaper and then we'll come back into our substantive issue. Now, Daily Graphic this morning says that Finance Minister designate promises economic relief, e-levy betting tax to go, and sparing to SHS funding burden. Child Rights says so. Government will explore private participation in ECG. Minister designate for Energy speaks on that. 73rd New Year school opens today. That's also captured on the front page of the Daily Graphic. Final works at the Bechabilamte interchange to be completed March. Engineer says so. Whole faces persistent water shortage. That's also the back page of the Daily graphic today. The Ghanaian Times says, adverting of ministerial nominees, 2025 budget to scrap e-levy, betting tax, says Dr. Forson, and legislate prevention of political appointees from buying state lands. That's also captured on the front page of the Ghanaian Times. Government will tackle corruption head-on, President assures clergy, and CRI alarmed over proposals for parents to bear SHS cost. The Ghanaian Times today. At the back page, it says, suspend small-scale mining for 6 months. GCNH says so. And UG Saudi Arabia Embassy observe World Arabic Language Day. That's the Ghanaian Times for today. Economic Times is here. On the front page of Economic Times, it says, Mahama focuses on creating well-paying jobs for Ghanaians as AGI calls for tax reforms and the 244 megawatts additional power generation needed before end of 2025 to avoid power disruption. And Ghanaians extol Ato Forson as best fit for finance ministry. That's Economic Times. And we'll be looking at that story this morning as well. The New Republic says that national security cartel blows $3 million on toy spyware as devices meant to eavesdrop on citizens fail to work. That's on the front page of the New Republic. NIB boss on oral trouble as shocking evidence emerged over land grabber after lawyer's denial. And Akufo-Addo statue of vanity in 2nd D vandalized. And away from that, President John Mahama confronting the challenges of a nation in crisis. And that's an article you want to read when you grab a copy of the New Republic. The graphic business is here. From crisis to recovery, can Forson's plan rescue economy? There's a big question mark over the UBA to continue championing SME growth in Ghana. And businesses clamor for staple currency. That's also captured on the front page of graphic business. And that will be for that. Let's get into the overseer. And it says Mahama fulfills a promise of creating youth ministry. And NDC jubilates over Ato Forson's appointment as finance minister. Private sector participation crucial in power distribution, Janapo says so. And the big story over here says, I will abolish e-levy betting tax in my first budget as finance minister, Dr. Ato Forson. Says so. Mahama meets IPPs amidst looming power crisis, and Ashimo hijacks NDC Greater Accra appointment process. That's also captured on the front page of the overseer. All right, so that will be all for the newspapers for this morning. Let's get into the big issues. Don't forget that you can send your messages to us. WhatsApp line is active. We're streaming live on Facebook as well, so you can also drop your messages over there, and I'm going to be reading them. We're looking at a vetting that started yesterday. 3 of the ministers have gone through it. The Minister for Finance, we had the Energy Minister also go through it, and also we had the Attorney General and Minister for Justice, Dr. Dominic Ayine, also go through as well. John Jinapol representing the Energy Ministry, and then we have Ato Forson for the Finance Ministry. In a couple of days, the President has assured that there will be more of the appointments coming through, and they're all going to go through the vetting process. And so we'll be waiting patiently for that. But our focus will be on what happened yesterday. Let me start off with you, Samuel. First of all, this is not the first time we're seeing a process like this. I mean, it happens every time that we have appointments coming through. And some have described it as more or less like some sort of rigorous process that vindictiveness, personal vendetta and all of that have been associated with it. How do you look at it? You have gone through that process before, Honorable.
Yeah, let me first say good morning once again to your viewers. And I wish all our viewers happy New Year, especially the MPP fraternity and also my constituents in Ayunsiano, the Eastern region. I wish them well. I wish this morning, those who have been able to wake up early morning are watching us on Joy Prime. And I wish them well. When I put the flyer on my status, I know a couple of them came out to alert that they will watch it.
Awesome.
I wish them
awesome.
Well. My brother, Timothy, I don't think he said anything different from what I said. And either he did not listen to me when I was making a point that, yes, there had been some suggestions that we lost because our members did not come out to vote. And I said, we are going to investigate to find out how true that assertion is. I didn't say that they did not come out, but I said there have been a rumor that, yes, it is apathy. But we can't sit in our armchair and say that it's been an apathy unless we investigate. And I even came out to tell how we are going to audit the register per the markings and then the indications we made when people were coming to vote. And when we finish our work, it will come out to tell us and inform us how we are going to approach the 2028 elections. Nobody loses an election with a single factor. He has won and lost before. I've won and lost before. You cannot lose an election and put all the blame on a single factor. Normally, it happens on multi-factors. You look at, I didn't do A well, I didn't do B well. We might even look at the personality we presented. So many factors may be involved. So we look at it and see how best we can go about it. My brother, vetting, it's very important. I've been in Parliament. I haven't gone through myself. I've never been vetted. I've never been a nominee of any ministerial.
Oh, ministerial appointment, okay.
I haven't gone through that, but I've witnessed several. You know, I was in Parliament for 12 consecutive years. So I've seen a lot of this. I've witnessed such an exercise. Some were saying that this is important. Yes, it is. At times, the person may pass all right, but you look at how the person understands the issues in the ministries that is going to head as a minister. At times, you also push the person to come up with something promises how he's going to manage affairs. So if he goes there and he does different, then you can just hold him as his boss and say, now, you said you are going to abolish the e-levy, you said you are going to abolish the vetting tax and all that. Why are you not doing it now? So some of these things, it's very important we do the vetting for us to come out. And also to make sure that our constitutional demand, that is that you must go through the vetting, your report will come to Parliament, Parliament will debate the report, cast a vote on it, and then that makes you the minister after the president has sworn you in. So it is a process, a constitutional process that we have to fulfill. So it is important we do it. I've been listening to, actually, I listened to the Honorable Ato Forson.
Okay.
I wish you well and I congratulate him. I entered Parliament with him in 2009. We were very close friends. When we were very young guys, I entered Parliament when I was 36. He was also a very young guy. I think I was even older than him when we both entered Parliament. And the young parliamentarians were having an association, both parties. and we happened to be in the same group. And we were very close. When he became a deputy minister for finance, I was so happy. I went to him in his office and we have a series of discussions. I quite remember there was a contractor, Mudu, who was working in my constituency. Some monies has locked and has not been paid. I went to him and indeed, Honorable Ato Forson, the Deputy Minister of Finance, ordered for the contractor to be paid. So we've been good friends. And I was so happy when I heard that he's been a minority leader and later becomes a majority leader and today Minister of Finance. He will be able to do it. People were looking at a ministerial position as somebody who is going to use only his brains to work. You see, I've been chairman for Rules and Transport Committee. At the time that I was a chairman, I had 4 ministries under the committee. That the Ministry of Aviation, Ministry of Railway Development, Ministry of Roads and Highways, and the Ministry of Transport. And I worked with 4 ministries. And I saw that those, I don't want to mention any minister or any minister's name, those who allow their directors to work for him or the minister to supervise come out successfully. You see, if you go to the ministry, those directors over there, some of them are consultants. Some of them are teaching in the various universities. Some of them have PhD and they are directors, deputy director. For instance, the just outgoing chief director of Ministry of Railways, Dr. Abbas, is having PhD in civil engineering and he's been urban roads director. He's gone through the process and become chief director. If you go to most of the regional directors in their Ministry of Roads and Highways, most of them having their masters and their PhD. Dr. Mensah, who is at the Survey Department at the Ministry of Roads and Highways, or FIDA Roads, is having his PhD. So when you go there and you allow the technocrats to work for you, to supervise them, you will definitely succeed. But those ministers who go there to micromanaging their ministries, when I say micromanaging, you understand. Everything they need to pass before them. I quite remember the former Minister for Roads and Highways, Honorable Amakwanta, came to the Ministry of Roads and Highways to meet a process where the chief directors prepare payments from road fund. And then you, the minister, will finally look with your chairman of the road fund board. You meet and then you finalize the list, submit it to the road fund to make payments. It ends up that if you go and ask the directors and the deputy directors whether your company has been paid, and they boldly tell you, Honorable, we don't see the list. You see, so if you don't allow your directors to work for you to supervise, definitely you can't succeed. No wonder at a point in time, pothole patching was stopped. At a point in time, grass cutting by one-man contractors was stopped. Because these are the directors who will tell you that if a road will last, it needs periodic maintenance. You may be a lawyer, you may be a mechanical engineer, you may be an accountant, but Minister for Roads and Highways. So these are the directors who direct you. You are there to ensure that government policies that has been agreed by cabinet will be implemented by the directors. You don't take their job because you are not a civil engineer. So if Ato will go to Ministry of Finance and allow the consultants, you see, I'm using the word consultant to describe the directors at the Ministry of Finance because they are competent people there. These are people who have seen, some of them have seen Lawrence administration, they were directors, or they are working at the Ministry of Finance. They've seen Kufuor's administration, they've seen Professor Mills Mahama 1 administration, they have seen Akufo-Addo 2 terms, and they are now going to see Mahama 2. Some are there, some enter fresh from school. They've gone through the process. And if you allow them to help you, have a meeting with them. They have managerial meeting that they have 2 or 3 times a week. Allow these directors to direct you. That's why they are called directors. They can also misdirect you. So make sure, because as you see them, some are MPP affiliates, some are NDC affiliates, some are CPP affiliates. But as a matter of fact, what I know is that most of them, if not all, work with that partisan approach. So if you allow them to work, if you coordinate them to work, if you monitor them and allow them to do their job, they will do it for you.
You get the results.
Exactly. So I too should go to the Ministry of Finance and allow the directors to work. Some of the ministers go there, and the work that has been assigned by directors to do, I'm not talking about the Akufo-Addo ministers alone. This happens all over, from Lawrence to Today. They go there, and they take a work that a director can do. They take money, our tax-paying money, and give it to a consultant.
When the director
when the director is even more competent than the consultant. Because the consultant may be a friend. A consultant may be somebody that he can benefit from. What do you think will happen to you if you allow a consultant to do a work that the director can do and later give it to the director to implement? If you all meet and say, we are going to prepare budget, we want to abolish e-levy, we want to abolish betting tax, but I think we must get a consultant to take some data for us. Then it means all of you have agreed that this portion of the budget should be given to a consultant. But if you go and give a whole budget preparation to a consultant to prepare it, then you bring it to the ministers, your directors, to go through and help you to implement after parliamentary approval, you have challenge. So Ato should go there. I'm not saying that I shouldn't sublet some of the work to consultancy. Those that you may not have the personnel, those that you may not have the technical know-how to do it, you can sublet it to consultants. After you have agreed with your directors, let's go to United States. And when Trump was the president, you see the economy was doing well. Because Trump allows the system to work. He will be there joking, doing all this. Hey, this man is not a serious man. But what he does is that he will be doing his joking and all that he wants to do, but allow the system to work. Ato, go to the Ministry of Finance, allow the system to work, supervise, monitor, and help to implement your government policies. When you do that, you will succeed.
Okay. We'll be looking at Dr. Dominic as well. We'll look at...
But let me look...
So you wrap up, then I'll take...
Wrap up with my friend, the Minister, Energy Designate.
Oh, no, we'll come to that.
Okay.
We'll come to that.
Okay.
Let's take them one by one.
Then I think I'm done with...
Ato, exactly. Yeah. So let me take that off Honorables on Ato as well.
I think let me use the opportunity to congratulate the three first appointees of the John Dramani Mahama government, Dr. Ato Forson, who is a colleague. We all went to Parliament together. I remember I used to sit with him at the back bench until he and them later on were made deputy ministers, and they had to change from the assistants. So we're all in Parliament together. We've known him over the years. He has learnt on the job, especially as a former deputy finance minister under his boss, Setekpe. Setekpe was a very meticulous finance minister. We all saw what he did and so on. So Ato has learned a lot from, Setekpe. He himself has equally learned the job very well from the fact that he became the finance committee chairman in Parliament and leadership for the past years, and looking at what has sent the economy of this country into a junk status. He has no business failing. I want to congratulate him. I want to pray for him and that God will give him the wisdom. Like Honorable Ayipe has said, there's a need for consultation, broader consultation on the way forward. It should not be that someone came from the University of Columbia, Yale University, he's a chartered accountant, he's whatnot. No, humility goes with public office. Humility and candor goes with public office, for which I know Ato all the years that he has shown humility and candor, despite the fact that he has been a deputy minister of finance, he has been a leader of parliament. Anytime you meet Ato, very lovely guy, he's prepared to listen to you. For me, I think it was a master stroke the president appointed, even though there were some names we were hearing. We're hearing that Setekwe was interested, we're hearing that Dr. Nimoy Thompson, Dr. Nashru, former Bank of Ghana governor. These are all colossus in the area of management of the economy. He himself has pledged to the people of this country. He's going to work hard to ensure that inflation is brought to a single digit. He's going to work hard to ensure that he stabilizes the city in collaboration with the Bank of Ghana and so on. And I also want to admonish that he should be able to go outside that periphery and consult people like our professors of economics at the University of Ghana across this country. They've often contributed brilliantly to our discussions on how we got here. And for me, we've been elected to fix the problem and not to complain. We knew of them. That's why we said that give the power to us. I want to assure the people that we are not going to fail. Modesty and humility is going to be our hallmark and to be a yardstick for measuring where we are going. I want to see a situation where we are not going to get out to hear that Ato has brought family and friends to the ministry as Ken Ofori-Atta did. Ken Ofori-Atta brought over 36 data bank staff to the Ministry of Finance, paying them like consultants to help him execute the job. What did we get to? With all those, and they neglected the civil servant. You remember Dr. Bampo, the executive secretary of the civil servant, came out and said that he even described them as Goro boys. They should send the Goro boys back and allow the regular civil servants to do the job, because they knew the job, like my brother said. They know the job. Consult them. If you're a minister and you allow the technical people to do the job, you become one of the best. And the name will always come to you. They will say that Tim is the best minister, X, Y, Z.
You're the one in charge.
Yet I'm not the one doing the work. I've only allowed. That's why they say the civil servant is anonymous. It's anonymous because he's behind doing the technical job and advising you well. And we are not going to see this one-time borrowing, a borrowing that sent this economy into its doldrums, a borrowing that did not even yield what we use the proceeds for. The benefit, I can say, went to the finance minister who did the borrowing and as captured in parliamentary documents, 159 million or more Ghana cedis benefited him. A borrowing that when he borrows and can, he go and do Kenke party, watch a party. What's the human beings that way? KMJ. A finance minister go to borrow in the name of the Republic of this country. Then you come and you are doing Kenke party, and the one who gave you the money is sitting in the US or elsewhere and watching you. That you are doing Kenke and watch a party. You are celebrating over borrowing. You are not celebrating because you've brought the finances to an even keel. You are celebrating because you've gone to borrow. Is that what they told us at those students who went to Yale, Columbia University, and so on, who were given so much credentials? Contractors were not paid under Ato Forson. Can you imagine? Even MPP business people that we know, they've gone out without them not being paid. Ato Forson sat on it and paid those he chose to. I hope our brother Ato Forson will not do that. He should pay the contractors, because when you pay the business people, it releases a lot of stress, not just the businessman, but even in the economy, because the businessman will also pay the supply and even workers who work for him. They sat on the interests of their own people for more than 8 years. And you think the people should go and fight for you? They were discouraged. Look, Ato Forson, the first thing he did in office when he came, he authorized ADB Bank to give 10 million cedis loan to McDan without board approval. McDan, you gave him 10 million without board approval. When he authorized them. How do you do that to state funds? You turn around and then say the banks were collapsing. And you do that. You collapse banks. People businesses are gone. Haircuts, pensioner funds, name them. What we have gotten to, we should never, our finance minister today should continue to look forward, backward never. Because where we have got is Ato Forson's mismanagement has led this country into the doldrums. It will take hard working, sacrifice for us to be able to come to where we were before.
So one of the things that...
Look at the exchange rate when he was leaving office. Look at the price of fuel. All those macroeconomic indicators are haywire, as we saw this morning.
So one important thing that he mentioned that, question was asked had to do with road tolls. Now, he said that he's going to actually bring the road tolls back.
No, but you know...
Remember that in 2017, he said that he didn't believe in road tolls?
Who said that?
Ato Forson.
He said it at where?
Yeah, on his file.
No, maybe you may have to proceed, maybe.
But because he's one person
he has been maybe.
And so when it was abolished, he was happy about that.
No, I don't think that because yesterday he repeated and said that it was only in Ghana that we don't take road tolls. My brother has worked with DVLA before. We know the role of road tolls in this country. Like he said, they are for patching of roads and other things that we can use. The 100 million we're gaining from the road tolls is big money. Even for the fact that we had our disabled people working there, it's something that...
So why is it that he said this in 2021?
I didn't hear that.
On the 17th of November.
No, I didn't hear it because remember the road tolls issue didn't come in the 2017. It came when the e-levy came, and the road tolls were abolished.
But he had conversation on that before, and I'm asking because he repeated that he was going to. It was something.
The road tolls, we have no option than to bring them back because the road tolls were cancelled because e-levy was being brought, and they thought that the e-levy could garner the 6 billion Ghana cedis they wanted to fix the deficit which was over 36 billion Ghana cedis, and that we even questioned. It wasn't true that the e-levy had the capacity to deal with the deficit because the budget deficit at the time was 36 billion. The total amount they expected was 6 billion, 7 billion. So it meant that we're still left with 30 billion deficit to finance. You understand? But it was even unwise. As at the time, the Minister for Roads cancel the road. He had no capacity to do that. First of all, he
Okay,
didn't fix the
Honorable,
road.
give me a minute. Let's take a look at this. And then maybe he put it in a different context so we can understand how to debate on that.
Your reaction to this development?
I think the minister announced that effective today.
Okay.
So I'm not surprised that they implemented it. But it's something to cover what we are going to pay.
Okay.
And so they are giving something back. Well, the revenue loss would be about 72 million. It's not that big. So I've always said that the road tolls out there should be removed because the amount of money in terms of fuel that we burn on the traffic as against the revenue the government gets, I don't think it's worthwhile. So I think it's something that I will say that it's something that all of us are expecting. It is right that they've taken it.
Yeah, so I don't know which context that you'd want to address this.
If he said at the time, you see, decisions and whatever you pronounce are not stagnant. You can always change because look at where we are today. We are removing betting tax. We are removing the e-levy.
He had indicated that again. He had repeated that again.
Cancel all those
going to take them out.
But what are the alternatives that we'll bring in to fill in that gap? Remember that these are revenue handlers that we are going to remove. So issues like road toll, if he had said it yesterday and he feels that it is what would fill in the gap. Yesterday he was before the Parliamentary Select Committee and he did indicate that the road tolls will be brought back in full. Probably they will even be brought back in a better way. We yet to see the budget that he's going to present. And he said that most of the things he's saying here cannot even be concretized until we listen to the budget after the 3rd month. So if he said yesterday he was before the Parliament and he said that you come, yes, you can take a decision today or you can be against an opinion. But when you are better informed at a particular time, you can always go back to the. I don't think that it is something that is too big that we have to be labor because we are going to pull out the nuisance taxes. And I think yesterday, surprisingly, I was hearing that the betting tax was about 50 million or so the whole year. I think something like that. 50 or something.
Yeah.
So you see, it isn't something that is so detrimental as people predicted that when we remove it, it will affect the revenue. I've also heard Professor Tio Achampon also talked about the fact that the e-levy is about 0.4% of the revenue and it's not going to have an impact and there should go. So let's see how these things happen, especially in his first budget, which is going to come somewhere around March or April. Yeah. All the details will be...
And that's what we're going to see.
And then we'll see the road
to all of these ones.
He himself said that he himself is bringing it back. It's good because it's a revenue handle. When we do it properly, I believe that we may even get more than 100 million. You remember the issues of the Azel load?
Yeah.
You remember it came up, Sam George said that there was a lady who was collecting so much and all those things. I think it must be a holistic approach to our roadside, how we are going to make benefit for across the world. He knows we all travel across the world. You must pay, even the richest countries in the world still pay road tolls and so on. So it's a good destiny. Let's see how his first budget is going to capture this aspect of it so that we can make proper revenue from it. We need to expand our network of getting revenue. So road tolls, I go for it because even sometimes you ask yourself, like cars loading, one fellow has got about 100 articulators, loading cement, trailers. Dangote is plowing on this road, it's about his 1,000, trailers. He should go scot-free. The Burkina, our neighboring countries that come to load heavily and pounce on our roads, that our life expectancy for the road deteriorates faster as expected, must pay road tolls. If not, we are not really running this country.
Okay. All right. We'll go to the energy sector, but Honorable, anything you want to add quickly, especially
I've told myself that we are not campaigning. And for that matter, my contribution on radio and TV until the campaign starts is going to be how I will put up suggestions and share ideas with the government to get our economy and the country running.
Development.
But that doesn't mean that when you sit on radio and TV and say something which is not factual, I can let it go. And I've also said to myself that for the next 120 years, I'm not going to criticize anything the government will do. At least we give them some form of honeymoon to get themselves organized. So don't sit here and say that all the economic woes, the difficulties, the challenges that we have had is because of Ken Ofori-Atta. And don't forget that debt to GDP ratio was 26% when you took over in 2009. And before you handed over, it was around 58, 56%. When you do the subtraction, you added about 30 percentage point to debt to GDP as compared to about 37% MPP added. So we are in this situation because of maybe, if I want to, for want of better words, mismanagement, quote unquote, of both MPP and the NDC.
Everybody takes the fall.
So I was happy when I heard the president saying that I'm not going to blame anybody, I'm not going to push the blame on anybody, but rather I will not complain and solve the issue. And you've mentioned it here. So to come out and start complaining who did A, B, C, if I also have time to go back and criticize some of the things that you did, the borrowing that you made and put the money at a bank without the interest going to the government, all this happened under Setekpe ministerial appointment. But let us see how best we can help the government who have taken over to run the economy and to extend the whole country. He says something which is actually not factual. Let us look at the road fund, because the two money goes into road fund. And if you go to other jurisdictions where they take toll, if you look at the levy they put on their fuel, some don't have any levy on fuel goes into a road fund for construction of road. The fuel levies that goes on road fund alone is about 94%. Then you come to DVLE, roadworthiness certificates, which also contribute to about 2-3%. So the toll.
So why is mine not factual? Because you add all those things to the road toll,
including. Wait a minute. When I end, you will get my point. So when you say the road toll, if abolished, will affect the contribution and then the money that we need to reconstruct our roads and potholes, and I disagree with you, because even when we manage the e-levy very well, the money the e-levy can contribute to support the money that goes into the road fund is bigger than the road toll. And if you listen to Honorable Ato Forson, the video that you just showed, he was talking about the fuel that is burnt whilst in traffic. We haven't talking about the environmental impact, the wastage. A distance that you must use maybe 5 liters of fuel because of the traffic, the time you spend in traffic, you end up spending about 10 liters. That also gives bad effects on the economy of the individual. So we must be very careful. They said so many things. They can come out and tell Ghanaians that, yes, we said we will abolish A, B, C, D. By taking office, we've realized that if we abolish A, Z will happen. So Ghanaians, bear with us. If you rush to abolish the e-levy, the betting tax, simply because you have said it, and at the end of the time, because putting the three together, the e-levy, the betting tax, and also the, I'm talking about the COVID.
Okay, COVID.
It was about 50 billion. Let's go and check back. And that money alone can take care of a whole road sector of the economy. So let's just be very
careful. That they should still keep the e-levy?
I'm not saying they should keep it. If they have space, because if you take off the e-levy, it also has big benefits. If you take it off, participation in electronic transactions in our banks and also the Momo transactions will be high. Though I haven't seen it going down after the introduction of e-levy. But that is the perception over there. So that's what I said. Honorable Ato Forson should work with the technocrats at the ministries. Where it's beyond them, you get the consultants to come and help. They should take time, look at some of these things. We shouldn't also forget the fact that we have an IMF bailout, of which there are certain conditions. They have not access to introduce e-levy, betting tax, but they've access to keep our revenue at certain threshold, of which we cannot come down. Other than that, you end up losing the benefits of the IMF bailout. And the benefit is not only the money that comes, but the support they've given us to negotiate with our bondholders. And it's a very huge thing. If today IMF says that, okay, we are pulling out, go and pay your debt, we can't pay.
They also have intentions of renegotiating with the IMF.
So they should look at, well, renegotiation of the IMF. I don't think they will tell you that, we can reduce your grounds on tax threshold. That one, I don't think the IMF will say that. Because they were expecting us to take more and even reserve some so that we can start paying our debt in 2026. Don't forget that part of the debt has been suspended.
Yeah.
So it has not been forgiven, 100% forgiven as we had in HIPIC. Rather, it has been suspended to be paid later. By 2026, we start paying. So anything that you do today, you should have in mind that in 2026, we have some payments that need to be paid. And if you don't plan today, and you start paying those debts from 2026, if you don't take time, you end up not being able to pay workers at the end of the month. So we should start working by now. If you have to come and apologize to Ghanaians that we said this, we didn't know this, how it works, they should come out and say so. Because if you touch the e-levy, you touch the vetting tax, you touch the COVID levy, you must look. That is why the president was talking about rationalization of the tax system. So you may take it from somewhere and put
they have an alternative somewhere
to come in.
adjust.
Don't forget that Ghanaians today are, I don't know how to say it, they are well alert. So if you don't
Maybe
take
radical
thinking that, I've taken the vetting and then the e-levy off. And then they see you putting it in another tax, reintroduction of another tax, they will know. And when they get to 2028, it will be punished for that. So they should be truthful to Ghanaians. Yes, we've gone to see this ABC.
I'll come back.
This is the way we want it to be done.
Okay, let me engage our viewers a bit, and then I'll come back again for us to continue. Meshach Asante Atamasaman says that somebody should advise the micro-minority leader, Afio Markins, to behave on the vetting committee and humble himself to the lowest level and obey the instructions from the chairman on the committee. And let me remind him, in case he has forgotten, his party presence in this 9th of parliament is not relevant to Ghanaians, so they can decide to boycott the parliament of any committee sittings. Nobody cares. And whether he likes it or not, all the nominees will pass through without any impediments. Greetings to Sedem Afinyo MP for Amasaman constituency. This one over here says, good morning. I do not think the finance minister is going there to implement his own policies. He's going there to coordinate the implementations of government policies. So Ato's decision on road tolls in past does not matter so much. Okay. Nana Akuyamu Central says, good morning, KMJ. It is very interesting that Ato Forson, who was once in support of the removal of toll booth, now saying that he would reintroduce it. Why is politics of deception the game plans of the NDC? Well, we wait to see the magic Ato Forson is bringing to transform our economy. All right, let me go to the next one over here. It says, hello, KMJ. I think the vetting was mad due to the needless assumption of power by the minority leader. His injection and usurpation of the powers of the chairman made it clear that the intent of his side on the committee. Now, the chairman must also be seen to be using his powers as chairman to steer the affairs of the committee. Rami Hassan Kafil inside Pram sent in that. Now, there was a nearly walkout. It wasn't even a walkout, actually, that happened on the committee yesterday as well. So a lot of things. Good morning, Joy Prime. Some of us voted for Mahama and the NDC because Akufo-Addo himself was campaigning for him when he reminded Ghanaians of Mahama being the only president governed for only a term, one-term president, of which we saw him perform credibly well. But the lies and dirty politics from him, Akufo-Addo, and the NPP party made Ghanaians to throw away President Mahama and his NDC. Hence, the overwhelming endorsement of his comeback. No matter the situation of the economy, his worst performance in this 4 years ahead will be the best of the Akufo-Addo administration. Afio Markins and his micro, I laughed yesterday watching them in the vetting. They need to step back a little to reconsider their approach in being in opposition. Stephen Opoku and Saki Michelle Camp sent in that. Good morning. Please tell Afio Markin to keep quiet because he likes talking too much, from George Buffo. I think everything is going to be on the Honorable Minority Leader now. The hypocrisy of NPP is legendary. I thought they also campaigned that they would cancel e-levy and betting tax in the just ended 2024 elections. Does it mean that they didn't mean to keep the promise if they had won the elections? Kojo Intema sent in that as well. Let me go to this one over here. It says, good morning, boss. Please, what does Afiyoma Akin think he is? What does he know? Was he trying to let the whole country think that he has powers or what? He should give us a break. And that's the gal inside East Legon. Another one of you says, good morning. The 3 nominees vetting was successful. All relevant questions were answered. We are very proud of them. Our business will restore in full support and confidence. Keeping the light on is our priority, and also bringing trust to the justice system. And that's from Big G in Tamale. Good morning, my favorite station crew. I suggest all the vetting committee members be searched or screened for any substance abuse, especially the men. Because, okay.
Especially the men. What have the men done?
I don't know where he's going.
All the
but I
time
don't
is
think
men,
it's a place I want to go this anymore.
It's true.
Alasa Session from Zeni Central says, good morning to everyone. In fact, the presence of Honorable Haruna Idrisu and Honorable Munta Mubarak is missing in this 9th of Parliament vetting. Treatment be told that the quality of questions and thorough scrutiny of nominees is missing from both majority and minority members in the committee. All right, let me go to this one from Mensa Majid from Bechem, Toronto. And it says it's unnecessary for any reasonable person to mount pressure on JDM to change the misfortunes within a month, whilst the ex-president Ado couldn't change these misfortunes in 8 years. JDM is really working, and we need to applaud him for his good works and stop the unnecessary pressure mounted by NPP foot soldiers who are disappointed in the president and Ado's administration. My regards to Honorable Charles Akwesi Asiedu. Okay, let me go to this one over here. It says, good morning, KMJ. I agree with NPP man because 18 million voters supposed to vote, but less than 13 million voted this year elections. It tells you that majority of the NPP voters did not vote because majority are angry with the party leaders because of their pride and arrogance. And they should sit up and find out what went wrong. I think that would help the party to retain the seat for next election. My greetings goes to people of Achem, Akwaboso in the eastern region, to West from Ajay Kwesi, and you're watching live from Adenta, New Legon. All right. This one over here says, hi, I enjoy watching your programs. Good morning. Thank you. We appreciate you for that. And let me go to the next one. It says, hey, Ato, what is 24-hour economy from Ike Florida? No, you didn't see any of AR yesterday. I feel it's gradually becoming disaster and distraction to the cause of Ghana. People must advise him. That's Patrick in Accra. Okay, that's your opinion. I don't know if this is the same with others. Now, good morning to everyone. His Excellency John Mahama is reducing the ministries to save money for the good people of Ghana. I believe strongly that John Mahama's administration will transform Ghana's economy. Keta need a serious-minded person to occupy MCE position. Teachers are disappointing us too much. Abochi Philip from Keta sent in that. Let me go to the next one over here. Good morning. I am Eben from Kwabenya. At the rate our markets are catching too much fire, I think the CID needs to invite Nicholas Omania Champon and Co. to respond to some issues. Regards to Dr. Tonia Orbin, the mining expert, and Louisa Kwachi, the finest female communicator. Maybe I'll do the last one and then we'll get back to the conversation. This one says, good morning to you. One of the key qualities that individuals going through the parliamentary vetting process should possess is trustworthiness. The people of Ghana should be able to have confidence in their ministries and their ministers and trust that they would act in the best interest of the nation at all times. Additionally, those selected for ministerial roles should be individuals who are dedicated to serving their country and are willing to sacrifice their personal and political interest for the greater good. Aaron Babakoko Komisaina, sending that a lot of your messages have come through. We'll try and see how best we'll deal with all of them here on the show, but you can keep them coming. You can also send yours to Facebook. We're streaming live over there, so you can drop your messages in real time. We'll take a look at them. We need to move on to the energy sector.
Just a bit on this. I'm not disagreeing with him about the fact that the taxes, we should be mindful of how we manage them. But you see, compliance is key. And he talked about enforcement of compliance to taxes and so on. I also believe that if we really do compliance, we'll get the necessary resources and money that we need to be able to augment the taking away of such tax handles and so on. And then we'll do what we call effective borrowing, so that if we are borrowing to tackle an issue, the money should be sent there and so on. We should be able to look inward and pinch ourselves and say that, look, there are some expenditures that are frivolous. He cited cases that, oh, this money could do A, B. Yes, it's true. It's true when you look at the road toll. It is not only road toll that goes into that fund to ensure the maintenance of the road. There are other, including even the amount to pay some amount and then MPA and so on. So for me, it's a caboodle. It's a mixture of these revenue handlers and the proper use of the money and effectiveness of it that will give us the benefit of what we want to. While we are, there are no excuses. We must just work tirelessly for this 4 years. I agree with him. But you see, when the tax for which it has been imposed is not achieving the reason for its imposition, then you must remove it. We're seeking to give away over $500 million as tax exemptions to companies that we felt that were not supposed to benefit from it. For instance, I don't want to mention, but there were some companies that were benefiting over hundreds of millions from that tax exemption. We must look at all these things and put our monies in one basket for the benefit of the people of this country. But you see, the energy sector, unfortunately yesterday, after I listened to Ato Forson a bit, I had to go looking for admission for my son at the University of Ghana. It was, things have really changed. You know, sometimes when you go to when you apply, if you are not giving your first choice, quickly they'll give you the second. It's no more like that. We had to go and even be as they wanted to tell, we have to do fee paying. I was completely mesmerized. Be that as it may, when I came, I was reading some few synopses on his interview, and he talked about. I was particularly interested in the privatization of the distribution of it, and how much we owe, and why did we get there? These are the issue about the energy sector. All in all, is revenue, is money. And yesterday, I happened to listen to a bit of it by Kek Kofi, the former VRA, the CEO, engineer, and then our friend at Esep Bemboachi and Co. The crux of what they were discussing, dovetailing into the interview of John Jinapo, is mainly about money and the non-payment to our IPPs, and also how we manage the corruption and then the waste there. John Jinapo has over the years grown to know the energy sector very well. And I admire him for his astutness in terms of his knowledge and appreciation of the energy sector. The way he understands the issues there is enormous. In fact, if you look at his background, his first degree was not even in energy studies and so on, even though it was occult science and so on. But he has grown. That's how we learn on our jobs. That's how we learn on our jobs. And he appears to understand the issues. And if he's approved, I know he's going to go at what he's going to say.
One major thing that he actually insisted that he was going to ensure that it happens was discipline.
Yes.
You think it's something you can achieve with the kind of attitude that we have in this country?
You see, you can achieve if yourself exudes discipline. You must build confidence in the people you work with. ECG is made up of the good, the bad, the ugly. So if you exude discipline, ensure that there's humility and candor in your operations, you obviously see people even praising you and coming to work with you. You understand? Discipline is a huge issue. Yesterday when I was listening to former Dubik, former CEO of he talked about it and said he was happy that John Jinapo mentioned that today ECG can collect revenue up to 1.3 billion. And that when he came, it was below that. And through his case, now ECG, if ECG can collect that, going by even the formula of the cash waterfalls, that the former president and even the energy sector players agree that we should pay our energy producer, the PP, by that. Did it go by that? No. It means there was indiscipline there. Who made sure that the amount of money they collected at the time, it was $43 million at the time, didn't share it according to the formula to the IPP. Finally, they only shared $10 million, and the 33 was put elsewhere. Is that not indiscipline? Is that not recklessness? Today, as we talk, according to Jinapo, the total debt of the energy sector is over $3 billion. when you multiply it by even an exchange rate of 1.14 cedis to the dollar, you are talking about over 40 billion. That is how the energy sector is saddled with. And you know, John Mama said that he had talked to the Millennium Challenge, the MCC, the Millennium Challenge Compact, how we can renegotiate with them to bring in the $190 million that was taken away because of the challenges of the PDS. And they told us that it wasn't closed. There's still room for negotiations and so on. And that is the money that is going to come in to ensure that the challenging the transmission of power losses, obsolete equipments, meters that are not working, transformers that are emitting energy anyhow, all these transmission lines will be properly retooled and fixed so that we get the maximum use of the energy that we produce. If not, people who illegally tap into the energy sector by connivance with even workers of ECG and other energy players and so on, overpricing of the energy sector contracts and buying of items, under invoicing. These are all challenges that confront our energy sector. And the energy sector is the mother of the whole economy. Look, when the NPP was in power, the report they gave on the energy, I think the energy sector reform, you know, I keep quoting it here. Even in that report, they themselves admitted that there was a 12 billion debt that was hanging. And you remember when the president was giving his last State of Nation address, he did mention that they managed it. So if the energy sector collapses, everything is collapsed. And that was why the IMF and the World Bank stated that the greatest threat to our economy was not Ukraine and COVID, but it was the energy sector threat, the debt.
Oh, but they didn't say that anyway. Where can you quote the source?
This, what's your name? IEP.
No, I've decided not
IEP.
IEP. But for this one,
IEP.
Quote, give your source.
No, the World Bank, look.
Give your source. What's your source?
You can Google it.
No, my brother.
They said, why? But they said that they...
Go on. But don't say what you
No, what is your problem?
I don't have any problem. But you see, you
they said that the greatest threat to our economy. Yeah, it's true. It's a fact.
This was their last report.
This was quoted. Look, this one was even quoted on your platform by Honorable Bauer. You can put him on phone.
Their last reports on what? On our
on the energy sector. Yeah, they have a report on it. They said that the biggest show of the energy sector debt.
The IMF.
But, yes.
But they never said that.
No.
Oh, they never said that.
Look, but what is even wrong?
But we all know that.
They said that. Once you say that, they said something that they didn't
Even we don't even need IEP. Let's get this in straight. We don't even know need anyone to tell us.
Exactly.
Look at it. Look.
We all know the impact.
They are our development partners. They are our development. That is why the U.S. Look.
You don't know. As I know
regurgitate this.
That the energy sector, because if the energy sector collapse,
I think you have your time will come.
Back, what
your time will
to
come.
The economy will collapse.
We'll tell you.
Even the doomsday that happened.
That's we all know the fact.
Everything that we
that was why.
They never said that it's not Russia.
I thought you've been quiet this morning. I said this year you were not going to interject. You said you won't interject this year because you want to assist us bring Ghana from the doldrums.
That's not you should lie.
I didn't lie. It's a fact. You can Google it. But I'll come to there. The energy sector is a threat to everything in this country. You know that. Even the doomsday that we had when the first John Mahama was in power created a lot of problems. That was why we had to go and bring car power, Ameri power, and SEM power, and all those things in order to fix the energy sector. When you came, how many megawatts did you add? Even the extension to the rural area.
But they also agree that they have managed it well for the past year.
But what do you call it? The data and the facts doesn't show that. You manage it well, and you are leaving a debt over $3 billion. And we gave you ESLA to manage. You went and used the ESLA for what? For borrowing, and you didn't use the money for that purpose. So ESLA is now, they have to do it, they have to release ESLA from that in order to be able to meet it and so on. The energy sector levy and so on was supposed to arrest the continuous debt that we are piling at the energy sector. Has it been? They didn't say, according to them, we left a debt over $2 billion. You have increased it to a high that is too much. Looking at even the way your city is depreciating at all the time and so on. So for me, it's a major issue. That's why the U.S. came into the matter, because they wanted us to have a very vibrant and robust energy sector. That was why the Millennium Challenge the Millennium Challenge Compact was able to give us money so that we build our transmission lines and ensure that we have a resilient and a robust power transmission sector, for which the PDS came and they detected corruption and withdrew. So the $190 million still is there. They said the deal has not been closed. The current government can come for negotiation so that the money will be pushed into the revamping of the energy sector, which is good. And you are telling me that the figures I'm quoting is not right about the fact
Okay, Honorable.
No, I think that let's normally
let me move
give
on to
credit to where we bring up these issues.
Let me put it on record that IMF way back never said that the crisis, the energy crisis that we have and the debt that have been piled up it is the result of the IMF. And
No, I say it's the greatest threat.
The threat to the energy sector.
Energy sector is not it's a result of Russia, Ukraine.
No, I didn't say. I said that they said that the energy sector there is a threat, the greatest threat to our...
More than
yes.
They never said that, because they know the debt is also swelling up because of this Russia, Ukraine. Go to Germany and Europe. They are struggling because they don't get the cheap gas that they used to get from Russia. And it is as a result of the conflict over there. So the IMF, they know that the Russia-Ukraine war, the conflict over there, is having effects on the global economy. So they will never come to Ghana and tell us that the difficulties in which we are going through is not as a result of that. It has some impact, if not 100%, I mean, certain fact of must be told. Also, I want to remind him that when we came to power in 2017, we came to meet about $5 billion debt on the energy sector that we managed. He mentioned at a point in time it rose to about 12 billion. Yet we've been able to manage it and break it down to around 3 billion. So it is better now. So they should manage. The extra that he's talking about was also collateralized to manage the debt they left behind. So he should not forget the
same
fact,
5 billion debt.
Yeah, exactly. So he should not forget the fact that we are the people who have left, as they've been saying, that governance is continuous. So when we came to meet 5 billion, if we manage it, and as we are living off it is 3 billion, 5 billion is higher or greater than 3 billion, as we were told in primary school. So they should keep quiet and manage it. At the same time, let us also look at my friend Jinakwa. I quite remember when he was an deputy energy minister and I was going for my primaries in 2012. He gave me this rechargeable lamp.
I think they are
with yellow
energy.
cover. Yeah, it came to
They're not in the system anymore.
Yeah, very durable. I went to my constituency quite recently in the campaign, and somebody brought his out. He said, Honorable, you gave me this lamp, and I'm still using it.
Wow.
And in 2012, it's more than 10 years now. Yeah, it's still there, very durable. But then the Doomsaw was at the peak of the time, so the Minister of Energy brought in those rechargeable lamps to come and support the system. He gave me some to my constituents, and it helped me a lot. We've been friends since those days of Asempa, when you were at the Pentagon or where Asempa used to be.
Oh, okay.
We were both co-panelists, like I've been with Timothy several times. One story, if you
told you to Google this, you didn't. You Google and see this, the energy sector.
Let me
okay, maybe even later.
Yeah.
One day, the debate became so heated to the point that before I can say, Jack, John held my shirt and turn all my buttons. Then I also pull his and get...
Look at your muscle, this small boy.
And then...
This small boy.
Bobby and Sam was getting the host.
Yeah.
So he need to separate us, and after that, John went. I thought he was going to bring something. He came back with fried yam and fried fish. I said, I pay. Let's eat.
Of course.
So we ate, and ever since we became friends. So I wish him well. I congratulate him. he has a big issue in his hand.
Yeah, he actually
because
that himself.
he should manage the energy sector in such that Doomsor will not raise its ugly head. He should be able to manage it well. And at times, I don't base on talking to assess people. Ghanaians, we are fond of doing that. People who can speak good English, people who can dig and tell us what we have in our sector. At times, when you put them in charge, you see they don't perform. I don't wish him that. I know he can do the job. That is why the president has put him there. I know he'll go through the vetting, and when they get there, he should get working. There are some cartels at that ministry that has to go to working with. It's not an
It's been through all past administration.
Exactly, it's there. It's just like the Ministry of Youth and Sports. There's a cartel there. The independent power producers can team up, and it's difficult for you to break through. So I know he should humble himself, Jojo, like the immediate
But then again,
pass.
is the president's involvement with the independent power producers anything to go by in terms of how cordial they'll be able to work?
Yeah, it depends on you, the minister. The former running mate of the MPP, Honorable Matupuku Prempeh, was at the ministry, and I liked the way he was able to manage the independent power producers at a point in time where we have some debt unsettled with them. The way he will go have a meeting with them, at a point in time, they have to cut about $600 million or so off our debts and access to pay the difference. All these are the lobbying skills of then Minister Matthew Poku Prempeh. And I think Jenapo should be able to do that. One thing I noticed, I quite remember the Minister of Transport, when I was a chairman, Honorable Siama, Ofore Siama, was always with the immediate left Minister of Transport and trying to, don't be liberal, get closer to them. How did you do this? What are the challenges? What do you think I can do? Unfortunately, Honorable Matupoku Prempeh is no more in Parliament, but they are friends, they've been there. He was a ranking member of that same sector when the minister, Napo, was there. So you should get close with him behind the scenes. People may tell him, oh, don't mind them. Oh, this way they couldn't manage it well. Please don't listen to them. Get closer to them. Learn what they did right. You cannot sit down here and say, all what Akufo-Addo appointees did was wrong. There are some things that they did right that you can get closer to them and also learn from them and put them into practice. Okay. Manage the independent power producers well. Manage the debt very well. And that ends the crisis at the energy. The two major crises at the energy sector is one, the debt that is being piled up. Two is the ECG. Managing ECG by the ministers that have gone by is a major issue that they have to tackle. If you manage ECG very well, it's a breakthrough. And then you also, as mentioned, the debt, the ECG, and also the independent power producers. See how to manage them. There's one thing that we always overlook.
Okay, wrap up.
We've mentioned of the independent power producers and left with the VRA and other government power producers who are not actually part of the independent power producers. Let us make sure that when we owe them, we pay. Because when you pay them and get VRA strong and even improve their capacity to produce power, it weakens the independent power producers. Yeah. So he should not forget about VRA and government-owned power producers. You should make sure that if you owe them because they are government, because government appoint the CEOs, because government appoint the board, I can decide not to put them. Then all the attention goes to the independent power producer. You end up leaving huge debts in the cupboard of the government power producer. That's a VRA and co. So you should try as much. And they can hold your board. This independent power producer. You know what Asogui did quite close to elections, that say, if you don't pay me, I'll not give you power. So, but if it is VRA, you can negotiate with them, easily negotiate with them and get your power. So we should make sure that he builds VRA very well and then pay him if there's any debt. They pay them the debt so that they can also be strong and assist.
Very well. That'll be our time for this morning, Honorable.
Or just a commentary. Yesterday, when I was listening to Kek Kofi, former CEO of VRA, and that, they were talking about the fact that the energy sector has been played with so much politics. You don't play politics with it. For instance, when they took over, they started talking about take or pay, take or pay. Today, as we sit, we still need more megawatts to add to what we have. We are getting short because we are now consuming over 4,600 megawatts. So left with just about 400, and the energy sector reform tested, we need over 250 megawatts each year. And he was saying that while at the time they were talking about take or pay, all the plants were running. All the plants were running. In fact, Dubik was there, our friend Ben Wachitu, they were all on the panel. So the time, and that too much politics is affecting the energy sector. We must be able to put our foot
the fact
and
that
ensure
we need
discipline.
power, installed capacity, that don't be that we shouldn't be mindful when we are signing the agreement.
You are taking the argument to a different level. If we are not,
let us be mindful when we are having sign agreement.
That even these technical people were saying
the debt we are talking about is the way that we rush in signing some of these agreements.
You've asked me to tell you.
That contributes to some of these debts, and you must agree.
You all do the same thing.
So you cannot have a debate on a radio at a point in time that we don't have crossfire.
It is early here.
You all do the same thing.
Cannot have such a debate at a point in time. There may be some crossfire. That I will not allow.
Much politics.
Okay, you go.
When you came, they didn't even add 1 megawatt to it.
It's not true.
Oh,
it's not true. Quite recently, I forgot the name.
But
quite recently, the president agreed
commentary, and where you are headed right now.
When I was talking, he stopped me and had running commentary on my submission. You were running comments on my submission. And I like to run your
and you will not disappoint the people of this country. We are really going to see a robust energy sector. We are going to see a reform.
I like the confidence that,
Yes, and a retool energy sector that will provide efficient and effective energy to the people of this country. We are going to see a cut down on contracts that you give out to friends and families and so on, and that competitive bidding will be done to ensure value for money. I think that is what it should even cut across all our state institutions. My brother is qualified to bid. You are qualified. I'm also qualified to bid for contracts. And so
the right person wins.
The right person wins. And then we move forward and ensure effective utilization of our resources. Is it not surprising? Every time we are talking about energy, we can't get over it and move to another sector. Look at the energy class starting from Rawlins's time. We keep talking about it. Came to John Mama that he has fixed it. Our brothers came 8 years. We are talking about energy. We are talking about energy sector now. Can't we fix it once for all? And you know what? The energy sector even gives us revenue by the export that we give it to Cote d'Ivoire, to Benin and Burkina Faso. So it's even an area for income. Why do we treat ourselves that way? I think it's about time we say no to all corruption and malfeasance in the energy sector and ensure a robust and a resilient, effective energy and quality energy for the people of this country and for businesses and so on. So the 24-hour economy can go on well for a lot of people.
Okay, all right, that'll be all.
Just a minute. I have
he's telling
simple. I want
1 minute.
1 minute to tell the nominees that not all the 184, is it 88 or 84? Will be
88.
given a ministerial appointment or being board chairman or board members. My friend here may, I'm using the word may, not be a minister or a deputy minister.
Yeah.
But when Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo was given ministerial position, he called a meeting of those of us who were not appointed and said, I cannot appoint anybody to be in a ministerial or be an appointee. And I've heard President Mahama saying that many of his people who campaigned for him are going to be disappointed simply because he'll not be able to give a good appointment. So if we secure the appointment, and my friend Timothy and others are in the private sector working, and they need support from the appointees, kindly support them.
Yeah.
Don't collapse their businesses because they have worked for you. They have sat on radio and TV and campaigned. My company was collapsed because I have worked for government and have not been paid. So I sit on radio talking, supporting you, the minister. I've worked for your ministry. You refuse to pay me. You've collapsed my business. Today we are both in opposition. So those appointees, Please,
That's okay.
we are not saying that go and call Timothy and give him money. That is not what we are saying. But if Timothy, at the end of the day, has a business that needs support from your ministry, kindly help them.
Of course.
Don't collapse their businesses, but they are here sitting talking for you. To sustain power, if power is not sustained, you can't be a minister.
Yeah.
So my friend Samuel Jinako, I'm talking to you. Help your party people, especially the communicators and those in the hinterlands who go into the bush to campaign for you to get your appointment. My friend, Honorable Ato
Forson. You should pay
I attended the funeral in Kwabing where the Minister for Roads and Highways, Nabu Amwakwanta, the former minister, have lost a sister. As a chairman of the committee, he invited me to the funeral. I was at the funeral and the finance minister, Kenufalata Onabu, came. And I was sitting there with the deputy minister, the lady, Abrens Asayesari. And when the finance minister was leaving, we decided to go and see him off. He didn't know I was following him. He asked Abra, I pay. Is he here because of his payment? Okay. Then Abra said, no, he is the chairman for Rose. So if the minister has lost a sister, he has to.
Yes,
so I said, so this man knew they owe me my company.
That's politicians.
And he's asking, I've come to the funeral because I want the money.
Oh, he's asking that.
Look, so I worked for the party. I campaigned for the party. For Christ's sake, I've been MP for 3 terms. It means I've worked for the party since 2004 as a lead campaign team member. And if my company has worked for government and has not been paid, and I've attended the funeral, I ask them whether I'm at the funeral because I want my money to be paid.
No.
Do you have to attend the funeral before my money?
That's where we
So the appointees to be, President Mohammed's appointees to be. You know, we are talking about people who didn't come out to vote. Yes, because I also have followers. If my money is locked and I go to my conventions and people come to me and I can't support them, definitely they will get disappointed. So you, the 63 ministers or 62 ministers that he's going to appoint, don't forget that you are going to have to sustain 184 MPs, constituencies, to get your party moving. It's a free consultancy fair. If they pay
we'll do it. All right. Thank you so much, Honorable, for coming through this morning for me. Honorable Timothy Atabwade, I want to is former MP for Bolsa, and he represented the NDC this morning. They are in power, so when we are addressing them, we have to address them as such. Power to the people.
Yeah, I've said it. Power goes with a lot. It goes with authority.
You don't go and lobby and be sitting here.
Power goes with
be like
authority.
Oh, no. Go and lobby you.
I'm lobbying. I'm certainly lobbying.
Former MP for Ayinsuana constituency, the NPP. And most of the NDC people right now are very, very busy. You know, the lobbying thing you spoke about. So we're hoping that things go well.
I'm lobbying with my God.
We are praying for all of you.
Yes.
Unfortunately, the president can't give everybody positions.
Certainly. That's why he said, everybody cannot, but those who have got it should not forget of where we came from. Which is very important.
And I think it shouldn't also be party-based. If there's somebody in NPP who you think
certainly
has the qualities to do whatever you want the person it shouldn't be because it's NDC's. And
sometimes even your own party.
If I could call me and say that I learned you've worked for 4 years, I've not been
you should
paid.
come for your money.
I'll clap for
and for me, I even want those of you who have done work to be paid.
And you see, for me, it's not even about going them and asking them for money. It's about,
you know what, I didn't
making yourself available for business. Exactly.
You know,
because we can't all come be asking you for money and all that.
Kenji, I didn't tell you. Yesterday was my birthday.
Are you kidding?
Then later.
You even forgot your birthday.
Not that I forgot, but I forgot.
You was to tell us. You was busy lobbying, so definitely.
This one says that.
Congratulations.
We'll wrap up. This one over here says President Akufo-Addo has proven to be the only president that is good at appointing party faithfuls to specific offices and renaming government projects after his party cronies. One of the reasons for our economic woes is that party faithfuls with little or no experience were appointed into offices that should have been occupied by technocrats with high level of experience in such area to boost the productivity. Thank God JDM is committed to appointing credible persons with experience into the various sectors to help revive our dead economy. A belated birthday to Honorable Timothy. I want you Atabwade. You even know, we don't even know. I'm sure You've been following the conversations here a lot, so you know his birthday, because this is not the first time you're celebrating.
My brother.
Oh, good. So he knows. Good morning. Yesterday's voting was too chaotic on the part of the Honorable Afinyo. No modicum of respect for the chairman. The chairman of the vetting committee should be firm and be in control in the subsequent vettings. ED from Nima Center. I think the chairman didn't do that bad, though. Afinyo was just being Afinyo marking and asking the questions he wants to ask. So easy on the chairman. KMJ, please tell Mr. Ipe that to give us a break. He's not the one to tell us what to do. Thanks, Robert Youngson. What did he say? What did he do wrong this time? And good morning, KMJ. Happy belated birthday to Honorable Timothy. Wishing you a great opportunities ahead. Welcome back. That's Gary Bass sent in that one. It says, let Honorable Ipe be known that the records are time and reminder of how not to govern a nation. Gary Bass. Okay, so we're getting to that stage now. Samuel Buachi, as Marcus says, please inform the NDC representative that we are dissatisfied with the plethora of discussions. We're assured that a bag of cocoa will be priced at 6,500 Ghana cedis, and we anticipate Ato Forson's prompt implementation. Also, they vowed to abolish the betting tax and e-levy, and we expect him to fulfill his campaign obligations. Long live Ghana, long live NPP. I think he answered those questions yesterday and still insisted that he's got so much love for the cocoa farmers and he will do his best to ensure that they are giving what is due them. And of course, the taxes as well, he spoke about it and said that he's still going to take away all those taxes. Now, good morning, Joy Prime. If I understand what Mr. MPP man is saying, it means they were deceiving us to abolish these taxes. And that's from Samuel Nasi. Okay. Rosalind it says, good morning. Would do Idrisu at EAG. NDC is fast in informing people wrongly. We are aware of the NDC legacy records inherited. All business collapsed due to doom so, which lasted for more than 4 years. NDC Energy Minister designate Honorable John Jinapo told Ghanaians that the fuel left for power is for 5 hours. The new government currently did not buy any fuel. So where did they get that power from? Okay, all right. So maybe I'll do the last one and then we are out of here. Good morning, Joy Prime and your panelists. I'm Abdul Latif from Elembele. My regards to Honorable Emmanuel Amakofi Boa. Respectfully, Mr. Host, I wonder why Yanom people are afraid of oral. In fact, oral is not a witch hunting, but if you begin to be wise, oral will hunt you legally. And yesterday, I remember the chairman for the committee saying that, asking why are people scared of oral? And then everybody just burst into laughter during the vetting of Dr. Ayini.
I think people are getting me wrong on this e-levy thing. I'm not saying that the government cannot abolish the e-levy and the betting tax. No. What I'm saying is that we are on the IMF bailout program, and there's a threshold of revenue that you need to generate for you to qualify. So if you take the e-levy out,
find a substitution.
then you must to find a substitution. Or maybe that's why the president was talking about rationalization of taxes. So I didn't say that no, it cannot be abolished. I haven't said that. If Baumia would have been the president today, we find a way of getting it out. Because
he also mentioned that.
He mentioned that. But at the same time, you must make sure that that threshold is met before you qualify to the next stage of the bailout.
Very well. Thank you very much. I don't take your presence here for granted. Really appreciate you. Do we have more messages? Okay. So that's all time open minutes. And we would like to say belated birthday going to Honorable Timothy. I want to him. God bless you.
Your party is in government. We should have organized a party and invited.
But who said that?
At this
I
point,
won't organize.
thank you so much to Franco
It was yesterday. I was expecting to invite you.
Maybe I want to shift it to the weekend.
If it's not party,
Maybe I want to shift it to the weekend because I need to organize it properly to show that we're in
I
power.
only take red wine, so you will not spend much on
What
it.
I'm saying is that I will still be organizing
what
the
did
party.
take you out?
No, I'll organize something. You'll be present.
Yeah.
I will be there. Not here. At least at home.
But who told him? You see, he's like Gideon Walker yesterday when he was asking the question. I was just sitting with my wife. I was saying that, look, you are already asking the guy to apologize. the guy has not answered.
Yeah.
That would you apologize for saying ABC? I said, allow the guy to answer. If he's not able to answer, then he can apologize. He was demanding that. It's the same thing he's doing this morning. You know the MPP people.
No, but what you wanted you to do is to just organize a small party for all of us. Because
But who said I won't organize the party?
but we are
He
not
just
aware-
assumed
we are
that
not aware of your
he
intentions.
does not
if you
even
don't tell
know
us.
what is the matter.
We are not aware of your intentions. So tell us that. Oh, I want.
If I disclose it, it won't be a surprise again.
Oh,
We are waiting for
NDC now.
we are waiting for
But yes, but Honorable, talking about the appointments, are we expecting the others to come through maybe this week? or next
Yes,
week?
I'm expecting that this week there will be some names that will be released because we need
For this week?
education. Yeah, I'm expecting so. Because the president says 2 weeks after the investiture, after he's been sworn in, the full complement of his cabinet list will be out. So we are going to hold him to that. So I'm expecting that this week some names will come, especially education and health,
Yeah.
and probably interior and defense. Because you need that.
These are
aspect
the
to
most
get.
critical places.
These are
that
the
we
most
need to fill
critical
now.
places,
My
especially
brother, we
education.
always complain
So for
that
me,
4
it will
years
come.
is not enough to govern this country. But those females of the Constitution were much aware that 4 years is enough before they put it there. I don't see why, if I have been the president, it will not take me 1 week to release all the list.
No.
Not
Because
list.
you've been there before.
No, apart from
It's
being
not
there
being
before,
there.
when you were campaigning, you know it is either
It's
MPP or
consultation, yeah. It's
when you
true,
were
but it's
campaigning, you know
consultation.
it was.
You may pencil
so do
your
all your
names.
consultation, prepare your name.
I
When
pay.
after the voting, parliamentary seats and others may change, and then the dynamics may change a bit. You make correction and release them. Stop them,
You
stop them,
may
let's move on.
pencil your names down.
Yes, so
but
you correct
normally
it.
need
Dynamics
broader
And that
control.
shouldn't take you.
You see, dynamics will change sooner the election. is
Sometimes
and you
even
form.
one-
and that correction you made on your list shouldn't take you more than 1 week.
You know, all the former presidents.
Maybe he's delaying to see where he can put you so that.
No, not even that. Sometimes they learn from the mistakes of Akufo-Addo, who just put his ministers there without
No, he didn't do
consultation.
that.
You
He
must
didn't- He even
consult.
delayed. Some of us were even.
No, I'm not
for
talking about the speed with which he kept there or not. But for instance, appointing his own brothers to positions. These are the things you must be very
Brother,
careful.
you
must be very careful
I've
because-
promised that we are not going to make that.
No. It's not that.
we are
I'm
not
just
campaigning.
telling you that the
What we are
experiences
supposed
they
to do
go
this
through
time round
in terms of
is
some
to
of
see
these
how
things.
we can contribute.
No. I am not.
The-
But
Sometimes you pencil your names down. After all, you have to consult your party, executive party.
That
elders, and
consultation
all
could
those
have
things.
been done
No,
in the
it's
day
not
or-
easy. Sometimes I can't say that
Assemble the party people.
These people
go
will
to
say
the
that you must
meetings and
reach
make
a
sure regional
compromise and
balance.
see where you
When
can
you are
fix
campaigning,
IEP
identify
and
the
fix
people and
it.
put them
If
there.
that
When
alone
dynamics
can
change,
take more than
let's do it. Let's do one after the other.
Yeah.
Let's do it one after the other.
Sometimes it can take time, and I'm not begrudging them. What I'm only saying that the man gave a timeline of 2 weeks. If he's able to do that, it means that he's the first president who would have presented his cabinet list within 2 weeks after inauguration and so on, and he should be commended. I think we should hold him to his promise. And I know that this week there should be some names that will come out. And like I said, I'm predicting that the Minister for Education will come out, a Minister for even local government, because we've removed the current DCs. So it means that the place cannot be left vacant. As a result, people have been asked to submit their names for the position of what? MCs and DCs and so on. So you would
As
need...
it stands right now, everybody has been asked to leave.
Yes.
And
So you would need a minister of local government to be in place. You may even need your regional ministers to also be in place to assist in that aspect. So for me, I'm expecting the minister for local government, education, health, including minister for
You should
interior and
bring all
defense
of them.
to come.
You see, the
No.
president had the mandate and power to reshuffle.
but-
Bring your team,
No.
start work, take time to
Yes,
go through it.
Yes,
and
he has a
reshuffle.
mandate to reshuffle. No, I agree with you. He has a mandate to
And
reshuffle.
bring the names.
And I am foreseeing that
Take
there
your
will
time
be a
to go through the names and reshuffle.
probably some ministries 2-3 years into his regime, because certainly you may not be able, like he keeps saying, you may not be able to satisfy all shades of opinion or interest because of the numbers in parliament. Remember that you must also satisfy those who are outside parliament, who are competent enough and equally campaign or contributed to your success. You must satisfy that aspect too. It's a constitutional requirement. Here you have over 180 members of parliament,
You still
potentially
not
all
get
of
the
them
point
being
that we're
ministers and
raising.
so
We
on.
said-
So for me, I think that he should be given the 2 weeks. After 2 weeks that we can hit him hard. And for me, I know that before 2 weeks, all the numbers will come out.
well, we must also admit that it's not an easy job.
Yeah.
Especially with the limited time that he has.
Yeah.
And the contribution that has gone into his campaign,
Yeah.
and the overwhelming support that he's had. So,
And you know,
yes,
this
it-
lobbyist-
The more you wait, the more you allow people
I
to
agree, but
influence
you know
your
this
selection.
lobbyist, They do not just come from you and I. Chiefs, opinion people
So
who have
bring the list out.
contributed
Take your time to go through
enormously to your
Take your time to go
campaign.
through it. If
And
you
I
have any
think that he has to
reshuffle to
bring
do,
a list because of the numbers. You must bring a list that is generally accepted by all. Even if you disagree with something, you say, okay, for this name I disagree, but I think that he's a good guy. He'll be able to do the job and so on. The list must be accepted by all and sundry, even including the public. You understand? Generally, I think that the first three that he appointed was generally viewed by the general public that these are the rightful people to be in those ministries. We talked about our brother, the minister, the attorney general. We all know him. Those of you are, yes, we all know how he is. He's not that too partisan. And I feel that is his weakness. I'm saying that. He's someone who wants to deal with the law as the law is, notwithstanding the fact that he's a partisan attorney general because he contested on a political party ticket. But he comes across as someone, notwithstanding his political antecedents as an NDC partisan lawyer.
He'll be firm with it.
He likes to deal with the law, really. And I've watched him over the years. That has been. Sometimes we feel like he's over being pampering people who are supposed to be taken on and so. But I think he's generally more disposed to the academic that he is and the law that he has studied. Okay. So for me, I think there will be very fine gentlemen in those their positions. Those who will come to, let's see, I think the Minister for Education, Minister for...
That's one other critical place
for
that we need to be looking out for.
Roads and highways.
Look at what he's asking me. That he's asking me, Tim.
You should know you are an insider. You should know.
Look at the question.
Says that
you are an insider. You
should stop giving
that's where my interest
to NDC. They have been given a mandate by Ghanaians. Let's give them a break. They have a country to run. And Opari Suhum says, happy belated birthday to Mrs. Josephine for Suhum constituency NPP chairman wife. JDM and his people should be talking and should stop the talking and do the work Ghanaians have given them. You mean to say, I'm surprised about Honorable Ato. Time would be a big up on Honorable. Okay, I'm struggling with that because Hamza Mohammed says, Alhaji Hamza in Pig Family says, good morning, my brother. Truth be told, the three nominees yesterday at the vetting committee acquitted themselves very well. They also demonstrated to show that they are on top of issues. And by my disappointment yesterday, the vetting committee has to do with the minority leader. He has to be called to order. For God's sake, the vetting committee forum is not meant to do press conferences, and we must also learn to respect the chairman and to obey the rules of the game. He was struggling to stay relevant. The chairman must take control of the vetting. Alhaji Hamza. And Amando Maradona says that good morning, watching you live from Bimbila. A lot of comments have come with regards to our filmmaking. You
see, there's one thing. There's one thing Ghanaians and the NDC in particular must be mindful of. The numbers have its benefits. If your caucus in Parliament have, for instance, near 2/3 or say 2/3 majority, because as soon as they get some few independent MPs sitting with them, they cross the comfortable 2/3 majority. It has its benefits when it comes to voting, when it comes to returning law and all that, we have the advantage. But when it comes to the debates, and also, don't forget that if the minority can stand on their feet, debate issues, and come up with the press conferences and get the media behind them, they will outnumber your 184 that we have in Parliament. So, as an opposition MP with such a huge deficit at your back bench, that is the way you must stop the debate.
This is strategic.
You must stop the debate.
Afiyamakin is doing strategic.
Stop the debate. If you don't stop the debate, you don't have the numbers. What are you doing there? And indeed, your opponent will not be comfortable. But that is the way to go. You must
so it means that this is what we're going to be seeing in Parliament in the coming years.
What?
How Afiyamakin is going about things. We're going to see more of that.
Yes, more, and not him alone.
And it's strategic.
Not him alone. That I have 1997, 2001 Parliament at the back of my head. If you look at it carefully, you see how the 60 or so members of Parliament held the NDC majority in Parliament on their toes, and it is something that we must look at.
Are we worried about the way, because we have
I
a lot
think,
more
yes.
betting to do?
I am not
Yesterday,
really.
nearly 5 hours we're still going back and
Yes,
forth.
yes.
3 hours and more we're still going back and forth.
You see, I am not the one who would sit here. They are our leaders, whether we are former MPs or not. And our Afenyo Markin should know better. You see, the public wants to hear good debate or good answers to questions that have been asked. If you are necessarily interjecting, you are distorting people's concentration and so on. You become a nuisance rather than playing a role as a leader. And especially when these things are discussed behind the scenes. The committee normally means just like court. Sometimes, you know, the judge, you have to discuss the pre-trial and so on. That is how it is done. So that they cross the T's and dot the I's at that place. And they talk about, that's why when you come in, you can ask any question, but there are some of the issues that they discuss as to how to go about them. When you come out and you still go belligerent on some of these, it means that you are betraying what you did behind the scenes, that none of us were there. Be that as it may, I think that the three nominees were on top of their issue. They have the capacity and the energy to withstand the fronts and smiles of the questions and the behavior that they were putting up there. But it becomes unnecessarily tiresome. It becomes unnecessarily boring. If one fellow is allowed to be leading the questioning for more than 1 hour, 30 minutes, Afenyo Markin alone, you understand? And the chance was given to him. So there are some things naturally.
He's a ranking member.
No, I'm not
He's
saying that. That is not what
leader
I'm
in
saying.
parliament.
That is not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that if you alone is sin, to be asking a question, sometimes repeatedly, sometimes and so on, it's good. But you see, for more than 1 hour, 30 minutes, you are on one fellow. Then it's like you have a well-rehearsed agenda to fish out a fish where there's even no fishes to be fished. When you are doing this, you must take into consideration the mood of the people, the sentiments, how people are looking at issues at Parliament, how the world is looking at. So you are going.
Isn't the vetting devoid of all of those things, emotions?
No,
You
I
have
don't
to stick to
think-
the issues
You have
regardless
to
of
stick
how
to-
anybody
yes,
feels
but
about
that's,
it.
you get my drift. I'm saying that if one fellow is leading the questions for about 1 hour, 30 minutes, you are still on and on and on, you are not finishing all the questions. I think within even 1 hour or so, you should be able to ask the critical questions that the people of this country want to hear, how their electricity will be fixed, how doomsday will be tackled, how they are going to go home convinced that the energy ministers has assured us that we are not going to get lights off and they are going to tackle the debt, and probably the tariffs are not going to overwhelm us, and that the privatization they want to do is not going to be that they are going to throw back the cost. These are the germane issues that the people want to listen to, customers and Ghanaians for that, the Republic of this country and so on. You understand? When you over-dramatized and make it like it's a platform to make yourself who you are and things to come, I think that is overburdening and he should slow down. I don't want to go beyond that because they are colleagues and they know these things. You see, I just want to add, I see, my brother talked about something, but I was reading this, Kwesi Kwarteng is the former PR for education.
Yeah.
You see, he talked about that. Take SS students to eat at Kempinski and Lancaster 3 times a day, because of the complaint about the food. It wasn't NDC who were complaining, no. Kwesi Kwarteng should know better. It was parents, it was students. Who are some of them relatives to you? I complained because my child was there. He complained. We all complained about the feeding challenges there. PTAs on their...
When did he say this? When?
PTAs on their
When did he say this?
Okay, if I finish, I'll tell you.
No, but you should be. Don't.
No. Why do you do that?
And I said, when did he say this?
The stations gave me an interview. Why?
When
Look
was
at
that?
it. Ipe, let me talk. You don't talk for the guy.
No, I think he just wants to know so he can
You
also
see?
trace it. So,
Yeah.
it's
I can give him the full
it's not-
distance.
You can just show him where the
So-
story.
So
we understand
what I
he's
want
been
to
speaking
say, what I want
with
to
the
say is
issue
that
of,
if
feeding and
genuine complaints come against government policies, let's accept them because you cannot do all. Parents were sending money to their students weekly. We all know that we complain. My child or your child, all our relatives were there. It is not NDC. MPP people who are children there equally complain. And were you satisfied as a
Your
peer of the
president
ministry?
said you have been voted to solve the issue. So
No,
it's
no,
not
no,
going
that
to
is
solve
not.
it.
Listen
Why are
to
you
me,
complaining?
listen to me.
And you
I am
stating
saying that
that
utterances
wasn't right.
like this, utterances like this should
When-
not be
where-
allowed.
When did he say this? When was that?
IEP, get a
No, it's a report.
there,
I think
it's
it
a
came up
report.
in one of the one
So
of
what
the
I'm
interviews
saying
that
is
he
that
did, so.
he shouldn't be talking like this, as if it was an NDC issue.
This
No,
after or
let us
before the
complain.
election?
Huh? Even the Minister for
Which one?
Finance
The-
himself
the-
talked about it.
The
This
party.
one is just 12 of this
Abba.
month, actually.
IEP, Ghana Web even
So,
published it.
yeah,
So
it
what
was just the 12th of
Ghana
this
Web
month,
even published it.
yeah,
What I want to
couple
say is
of
that
days
these utterances will not help. You see what he has said? He has come against you because you say you want to help us to succeed. And your brother is saying...
Okay, so that was our time of permission this morning here on the show.